there are some few people who believe the general interest must come first, and that is why we are to look at the second part in the studio with our panel. And start with you. Is it not time for us to bear our differences as far as the Anglophone conflict is concerned, especially when we look at the fact that there's finger pointing, like Senior Barrister, when he speaks, people say no. Those who are in support of a clique would say no, he's a separatist, he's this, he's that, he's that. But when he stands to fight for the truth,
you know, to be honest with you, each time we talk about the Anglophone crisis, I talk with a lot of emotions, because you see, we are Anglophones and we live the realities. You see, if the difference you're talking about, bearing the differences between the Northwest and Southwest, I will draw your attention to the fact that that's not what started the Anglophone crisis. The Anglophone crisis started because the Anglophone as a bloc felt they were being marginalized by the Francophones. Yeah. And so, what constitutes that difference, therefore, should be what the Anglophones expect from the government, which was not coming. It is true that underneath that problem, we have our own differences, which is very important that we, as a people, we should grow beyond that and know that there is no difference between an Anglophone from the Southwest and Anglophone from the Northwest. We are all the same people. We belong to the same community, and we have everything. We suffer and cry together. So, but coming now to our Anglophone, the difference we have, which is that from the marginalization from the government, we think that we have made some mistakes by targeting our own brothers and sisters living in the Northwest and Southwest. Because if you ask me honestly, I will tell you that the people paying the huge price of this war is us. Because we find that our own people are being kidnapped, our own people are being killed, whereas we are not the ones responsible for the solutions. So I am praying that all those who think that by kidnapping, by killing or torturing another Anglophone gives them any right or makes them happy, it is wrong. It is very wrong. Our problem is that with the government and not amongst us Anglophones. And you see, Jervis, there is something which is not correct. We as Anglophones, we should learn to accept our different views, opinion on things without painting others as a black leg. An Anglophone might want secession. Another Anglophone is feels that federalism is better. It does not mean that he who wants secession must kill the Anglophone who is going in for federalism. So please, I just want to make a strong call to all those Anglophones. I don't want to call them AMBAZONIA or separatists because they remain Anglophones. That we should know that when you pick up arms, you don't pick it against the very people who you are supposed to protect.
Because people seem now to fight more for position than the interest. Because if you look at the bottom line between someone who wants federation and separation, is like the interest is for common man to have democracy, freedom of speech, autonomy.
Look, we have a common problem as Anglophones. The Ambazonians don't feel that pinch more than I do. Or I don't feel it more than they do. All of us will feel it as Anglophones. What I'm saying is that it is wrong that Anglophones should target Anglophones. It is wrong. And let me tell you, let me be very honest with you. In all forms, we have been the victims. Our houses have been burned, villages destroyed, families separated. Indeed, do you know if you go to Bonaberi late in the evenings, you can really cry with what you see? You know, let me tell you something, that I have a very wealthy client who wanted to remove somebody from a house. He had a deal with his in-law and he wants to evict. The in-law is not in the country. He wants to remove those children and get possession of the property before the man comes. You know, he came and told me, I want you to bring an action and just say that the people living in that house are Ambazonians. Oh. Do you understand? Oh, no. Do you understand? Me, an Anglophone, take millions to remove another Anglophone from a house. On a lie. Yes, that is an Ambazonian. Yeah. Do you know what I told him? I said, I'm not going to do this. And believe me that if you bring an action against an Anglophone on that, I'll be the one to denounce you. Yes. I did not end there.
Very few people can take.
I did not end there. I wrote to the wife. And said, look, I'm the lawyer for your family, and your husband made me with this. I want to tell you this. If he should do it, I am going to run him down. And she replied me and said, mate, I'm thankful that people like you are there to tell me.
Yes, that's
so touching.
very few.
Do you understand?
That's really touching.
Look, you come in my neighborhood, I'm here in Lokpom. You see, there are times that when I have the opportunity maybe to go and sit somewhere and maybe doing something, and make sure that in going I identify the Anglophones who are there and just say, give them something, give them something. You understand? Because it is a very, very sad thing, the experience. You live the trauma in Southwest. We have the spill out over here. You see what these children, they go through, you will not imagine. Why are we forced by our own brothers to leave the Northwest, and why should we do that? So please, I am making this call, big call from my heart to the Ambazonians. We are all Anglophones. We have a fight, not between us Anglophones, but against the people that we want, who are sitting on our rights, against the system. And I beg you with everything that I hold sacred, that stop killing your brother Anglophone.
Absolutely.
Stop destroying the properties of Anglophones. Stop. Indeed, we should have peace and focus on our solution. If we all came, and that is what another thing I regret so much is, they did not give Cardinal to me.
Oh, yes.
They didn't give him the opportunity to have the All Anglophone Conference. And I said, it would have given us the platform to choose our leaders to represent us and identify our problems and table them. So I've made this appeal honestly to every Anglophone of good faith, that we should stop at one point and think. We should stop this killing, and honestly, we should be peaceful. Thank you.
I think our technical team will have that a session and put it on equally for further. This is a good call. Senior Barrister, isn't it time for us to bury our differences, because people have been tagged name. If you stand for the truth, you speak something, they'll say, no, you're a separatist. You say this, no, you are a government black leg. People are caught between the devil and the deep blue sea.
See, when I was making my case at the Constitutional Council, I raised this particular issue. We are caught between, as you say, the devil and the deep blue sea. Either way you go, you can't win. In the beginning of this crisis, I used to go to Bamenda to do cases at the High Court there. On one occasion, my car broke down. I needed a parts. It was a Monday. All the town was locked down. So I went to a friend of mine, may soul rest in peace, he's dead now, who knows the town. And he found a shop owner who went to his shop behind clandestinely, got the part, and came and fixed my car. And that's how I was able to drive back. While they were walking on my car, I sat there with my friends to take a drink, and I told them this. I said, you know, what we are doing with these ghost towns and all this thing is like somebody who takes a cup of beer, fills it with poison. He's very angry at somebody who is in Marwa, and he drinks it, hoping that the person in Marwa will die. When I drive to Douala, you not know that there's any conflict in this country.
Yes.
When I go to Yaoundé, people in Yaoundé are oblivious of the fact that people are dying in North and Southwest region. The ordinary man doesn't know that. So we are drinking the poison, hoping that the people in Yaoundé will die, but where are the people dying? Why are we not giving the poison to the people who need to die? Okay? Now, you just heard Barrister Kanwa talk. Have you heard of any administrator kidnapped or any government official kidnapped? But they are kidnapping their own brothers.
On a daily basis. In Bafut, 2 people were kidnapped, went for a funeral in Bafut. That was yesterday.
Okay? But this is the sad and painful reality
and myself and I escaped one in Moya.
Yeah. Why should we be doing this to ourselves? We have a good cause.
Yes.
And I said this in the beginning, and I must point my fingers to our brothers who, in a hurry, started this conflict because we did not prepare enough. We did not do what Cardinal Tumi wanted us to do, to sit down amongst ourselves and deliberate and strategize before we stood up to fight. We're too much in a hurry to go out and fight. Some of them wanted positions, like you said, hoping that they'll be appointed ministers if they saw that they were ahead, and so on. Some of them have been bought over. They're getting money from the regime and pretending that they're fighting for it. We know that. And so long as we are divided, there's no way. This thing will go on for the next 50 years.
Yes.
I was driving just now, and I saw after the police checkpoint at Misolele, a big area of land that has been cut down. They told me they have cut down that place to build a DDR center, a center for the
disarmament and demobilization.
So I asked myself, does it mean that the government doesn't intend to stop this war soon? They want a permanent site to keep these people for the next 20 years?
But it means that those are elements that the war is not ending anytime soon.
Oh yes! We cannot be blind to these realities. Instead of making things so that this war stops, we are creating institutions to manage the war. How can you explain this? How can you explain this? And let me tell you what is going to happen soon. And I hope it doesn't happen. In a few months' time or years' time, if this is not stopped, that land that has been put there overtly to be a DDR center will be cut out into plots and sold amongst themselves.
Yes.
The Prime Minister came to BIYA last year, and he went to Bostad Institute. At that time, a big plot, a stretch of land that was open for Bostad Institute, and he recommended that that place should be built up to make accommodation for some of these people so they can have better facilities. As soon as the Prime Minister left, I went back to Yaoundé. The SDO issued an allocation letter of site plans and gave his agents allocation letter signed and stamped by him, but with no name.
Yeah.
He gave his agents to go around and sell plots in that area. Go there now. Houses are just cropping up around the place in a disorderly manner. And so where would the Prime Minister's project come up? I would like them to come and see what is happening in FAKO. And that's what I intend to tell the president of CONAC himself. That if they want to carry these investigations, instead of inviting people to Yaoundé, let them come down and see with their own eyes.
Yes.
They give you a paper, you go and look.
Yes.
How did you get later? Allocation later. Who gave permission for allocation later? The question starts.
Okay.
Okay? This is how you do it. So we are really, sorry Jarvis, if you look at it, we're in a situation where people who are working for the government are sabotaging the government. These same agents of the government are the ones sabotaging the government. They are sabotaging Paul Biya. Sure, you cannot say the Paul Biya is without blame. As the head of the country, he has this, the buck has to stop with him. But the people are actively sabotaging Paul Biya. This is agents who come in forms of DOs and SDOs and whatever. They are sabotaging the president. And we cannot continue to have this go on.
Okay. Greetings to you all in the studio. Thank you, baristas, for speaking the truth. Bearing our differences, moving forward as Cameroonians is a nightmare for French and its head boys who passes for leaders. Cameroonians need to rise up and as one to cast out these neo-colonialists in order to truly ascertain their independence. Window dressing dates as far back as the eve of Windows dressing of independence. It has been modus operandi for French for so long. Adulu Lamnui from Banyu. Please, we will not read all of your messages because of time constraint. Happy Sunday to you all in the studio. May God bless the baristas in the studio. I can discern how honest they are. We need people like you to build a beautiful Cameroon. The government of Cameroon should come down from their high horses and make use of people like the baristas to fix the problems in Cameroon. My heart bleeds for Cameroon. I am Paul Abang from Yaoundé. Sorry, we are just handpicking messages because of time constraint. Good day to you all. And Limo in Bamenda, what the baristas said was good, and we need to stop the killing. We need to stop killing each other and come back to one as Anglophones. Good afternoon to you all. It's Toge from BIYA. I am touched with the words of the barrister. I barely would believe person with words of his still exist. Hope the best in God's care will move forward. Grace to the word of the barrister for saving the Anglophone in Douala. Please check. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Because of time, we may not read all the SMS. We are slowly out of time. Senior barrister, before we take leave of you, basically your last word and way forward as far as reconciling Anglophone community is concerned. Maybe you have that special message to the public.
Yes, Jarvis.
And an appeal too.
I will not be tired of talking about this. When you sit down and critically analyze the problems that surrounds this Anglophone crisis, while you have the right to be angry at the regime that is treating us shabbily, you cannot help but be angrier with our own so-called elites who are fueling this crisis by their silence, that's their omission, or by their actions. We need to take that responsibility before we point our fingers out there. And I'll call on all of us, wherever they are, whatever position they occupy, to know that in the long run, we are going to be leaving our children, our grandchildren, with problems that we should have solved if we don't solve them today.
Thank you very much, Senior Barrister. Barrister Kawalime, before we take leave of you, your last word.
Yes, I just want to thank you for giving us the platform to talk and giving me the opportunity to talk with my senior, whom I respect a lot, and I follow your interventions. And honestly, I'm always happy with your degree of honesty. And in life, I try to be honest, and I just pray that we Anglophones will come to the end of these problems sooner than those people think we will. God bless us.
Thank you very much. A lot of messages coming in. Good afternoon, Jarvis. Please, can we have the barristers next week? No. It's no time. To all those of you who watch this program comes on every Sunday at exactly 12 to 1:30 p.m. Rebroadcast is Sunday at 10:30 p.m. and rebroadcast again on Monday at 9:30 p.m. It is on our YouTube channel, BT Media, and on our Facebook page, My Media Prime. You can visit us on www.btmediagroup.net, www.btmediagroup.net. If you want to participate in the program, the numbers are on your screen. You can contact me and be a guest in our program, and we'll give you the topic as long as you take responsibility for the word you use. I leave you with this: no matter the matter, what matter is your matter. No matter the matter, what matter is your matter. And what should matter for you is that stand together for what you believe, work for what must be done, and love each other in all that you do. And to all my people are one. Spread the peace, my brothers and sisters, for we are all one. God bless you, and bye-bye from Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. Fengu John Bange.